the energy in this building today because I've been feeding the energy with music.
My name is Joe, and I'm a guitar player. I have never done any paranormal investigating. This is my first rodeo.
Something music.
I could hear music playing that wasn't coming from anywhere.
Playing our songs, and there's almost a point where it would become like an out-of-body experience.
We can communicate with spirits on a level through music, through vibration.
That was just a little preview of what Nat and Eliot and all of them at ACG are up to lately. So let's welcome our guests, Nat and Eliot.
Hello.
Hello.
Oh, hello.
Now I got watching that little trailer really kicked something up for me before, because I actually did an experiment at Prospect Place in Ohio, and there, like, we looked into the history of it, and of course, as you know, the bounty hunter was hung in the barn. So history says. My team and I recreated that, and somebody on my team actually was playing like old slave songs.
Oh, wow.
As they were leading me down to the barn. Hooded, noose on, everything.
Oh, wow.
And that just reminded, like, it takes me back to that. And you know what? A lot of people don't realize, like, music does bring out the spirits.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
100%. Yeah, that doc is coming out. I'm actually working on an updated trailer next week, so it's coming out soon. I really wanted to touch, like, on that, because, like, I have a lot of friends, you know, like, that like to dance. I like to dance, you know, like, bring more so of like a personal connection with the spirits, like, at these investigations.
Oh, yeah.
And the guy that we brought in, Joe, who's now our teammate, and this was just like our first one. This is like a promo that I was like doing, kind of get the idea out. But
Mm-hmm.
I have like other, you know, I want to touch like based on every genre. And it's not so much just like investigating. It's a lot more based on like ghost stories, you know, ghost stories like with the building, the people, like past, you know, employees, or like in this case, our first one, it's at an old school, Broadhead Manor.
Yep.
We all love Broadhead.
Yeah,
And I really wanted to do like humble beginnings, you know, high school, like battle of the bands. So I actually brought Joe, who was never paranormal investigated before in his life. Pretty much he did use some of our tools, but he pretty much used his guitar to try to trigger, you know, any sort of activity. And I got to know, you know, I interviewed him and I got to know more about him and like just his own personal ghost stories. So, you know, one of the questions that I asked was, what is everybody's like favorite song, or, you know, a song that like it means something to you? Because everybody can connect with music on, you know, and everybody has that song, and that, you know, it really like either you were going through a divorce, you lost a friend, and I kind of was bringing that into the documentary too. So it's not just about, I really didn't want the focus on just Elliot and I, you know, like I wanted to focus on like the people that were involved, having more so of like fun with the ghosts versus just, you know, like, hey, are you here? Like, Joe actually played, I think it was like almost a full set, but I mean, I couldn't put all of the songs that he played, you know. So I did keep one full song that he played. It was his first one, and I felt like that was like the most raw. So he pretty much put on a whole concert for these spirits, and we caught some pretty cool stuff. Actually, like right after, and I'm not gonna say any spoilers, but right after he stopped playing, he didn't hear it, but we actually caught something that was along the lines of music. So that's kind of what I was going for, is like trying to find phantom music, anything, you know, because we've heard women singing before, we've heard humming, we've heard, and that's kind of more so what we're trying to capture versus just you know, intelligent answers. Like, I want to find ghost music. Pretty much.
Well, yeah, that's like a place I investigate up here in Massachusetts, where, you know, it was a recreation center, I guess you could say, back in like 1912, 1913. And one of the things we used was we went in there and actually played like big band music.
Yeah, yeah.
And we got a lot of responses from doing that. Because actually in the attic, there are actually ticket stubs hanging from 1912, 1913, 1916.
That's really cool.
That's
The original ticket stubs that are still stapled to the pillars of the attic support beams. So, like, it's really cool. People don't realize that, you know, you have all these devices out there that play music when, you know, like a REM pod that plays music when it's touched or whatever.
Yeah.
Yep.
But they don't realize that, you know what? Nursing homes, hospitals, things like that, music is a big touch of people's lives.
Yeah, 100%.
Definitely.
Sorry. You can go.
Yeah, please don't talk over Ellie. By all means, don't talk over him. No.
So what got you both in the paranormal field? Let's start with that.
Oh, we should probably introduce ourselves to the.
Yeah,
Hey,
probably.
Bill.
Hey,
Yeah,
Bill.
we're talking about.
Ahead and he pops in.
Yeah, so there's a little background to you guys yourselves a little bit too. Like, you know, introduce yourselves and,
Do all
you
that.
know, for people that may not know you.
So I'm Nat. Hello. I've been paranormal investigating. This is my 20th year. I started paranormal investigating when I was 12. Was really big into, and I don't ever encourage this, but you know, going to old buildings, and I started off at Mantino State Hospital, and at the time, it was abandoned, but I really sort of got into, like, I've dealt with ghosts my whole life. Like, I was 3 and was already seeing spirits. When I was 8, I remember, like, I moved into my stepdad's house, which was super haunted, and I still remember, like, clear as day, this full body apparition that was standing in front of me at 10 o'clock at night when I had to use the restroom. And
Of course.
you know, I was just frozen there for about a half an hour with my foot, and I'm like, oh, I gotta go. But there was a lady standing in the hallway. And then ever since then, I've kind of dealt with, like, really nonstop paranormal activity. You know, and I would hear voices in the hallways. And then when I was 12 and I went to Mantino, was kind of when I started really being like, okay, now I want to start trying to capture spirits on, you know, film, even if it was like a crappy little camcorder that I had, digital recorder. So I started really getting into EVPs by the time I was 15. And since then, I've kind of been nonstop. When the pandemic hit, it was kind of after that, I was like, you know what, I really want to branch out into the paranormal community. You know, I wanted to know if there's other people that like to talk about ghosts as much as I do.
No, there's no one out there like that. No.
There's so many. Like, it's hard to keep track of all y'all. But yeah, I just got into it, and then dragged Elliot along with me, and then made a team. There's my team. Look at young, strapping young lads. Look at them.
You guys look like an emo band from the early 2000s.
Hell yeah.
Like, this could be My Chemical Romance's album cover.
I was thinking more like that, but throw a little hip hop in there.
I was
You
gonna
got
say kind of new metal because
Yeah.
Kid looks like he raps.
Kid raps. Joe, he does the little beat thing,
Yeah.
so he's good with like
All
launch
right. So we'll go Hollywood Undead.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Let's go with Linkin Park. How's
Linkin
that?
Park.
Too soon.
Dude, no. Rest
So-
in peace, Chester.
I got into this. I've been
Oh, there we are. Yeah.
living with paranormal most of my life. I've been interested in like oddities and stuff, but I suppressed a lot of it. When I met her, the whole ghost thing going on constantly, and then
So she's
for 5
haunted.
years-
She's
Yeah.
haunted.
She's
Well,
haunted.
Maybe.
for 5 years
At
we'd
this
go
point.
on vacations, and we would end up there, and she'd pull out an SB7, and I would be very upset because I was tricked into being a paranormal investigator once again. So I started just like building stuff for her, trying to like debunk her for the most part, and a lot of the devices did weird stuff. So eventually I was just like, okay, this is really strange. I'm just gonna go on your side. Let's start making things. Let's start looking into this because
Well, we just went to Ashmore
Yeah.
again, and we just talked with Robin. The last time we were at Ashmore, we were just driving by, and that's when Elliot became pretty much a believer because he heard a little girl that we actually caught, on camera and film, and I didn't hear it at the time, but when we went to play it back, it was clear as day. There's like a little baby doll voice. Like, we don't know what she's saying. I think she's saying I'm lost, but it's very like, you can 100% hear it. Very like, I'm lost.
I
And
just couldn't be mean to a little kid ghost. I was like, if she's lost or whatever she's saying, she said it to me, and it wasn't through the spirit box. It was just right next to me. She was talking.
Wow,
It was a disembodied voice, and it just I couldn't be like, oh no, she doesn't exist. I couldn't be rude to her. So I
We-
decided to go on from there.
Like they say, a skeptic is someone is a believer that just hasn't had an experience yet.
Yep.
Yeah.
yeah, I mean,
And
I had a lot of experiences.
I'm like, definitely
A lot.
suppressed it.
And I kept saying no because we had
that
a
logical
cheap-
brain of yours was just like, no, there has
No,
to be
there has to be
something.
I think it's one of those things too where like, I don't know, like invisible people, yeah, it can be a little creepy.
Yeah, it's a little freaky when they're pulling your sheets down in the middle of the night. That's kind of freaky.
Yeah, we went to Ireland and all night I was like, El, there's a ghost in here. There's a ghost in here. He's like, go to sleep, and we're like, I turned the light on, I'm like, El, there is a ghost in here. And then he's just like, yeah. All of a sudden, it looked like someone sat on the bed because you could
Oh,
see
wow.
like this like indent, and like
Yep.
Elliot's just like yeah, I think like maybe it's an old mattress, and I'm like, oh, okay.
That just collapsed in the middle of the night for no reason.
But then
I was tired, okay? I wanted to go to sleep.
All of a
You
sudden,
want to sleep.
like our sheets that were like up to here got pulled down to like our waist, and then he was just like, yeah, that was weird.
I tucked those sheets under me and I went back
He's
to
like,
sleep.
I'm going to sleep.
I was not.
I'd have been like, stop stealing my damn covers and
Let me go to sleep.
have your own.
Yeah.
Yeah, Elliot in his sleep, he's like, for me, on the other hand, I'm hearing ghosts at 4 a.m. I'm just like, okay, how can I help you?
That's why I got earplugs.
You got earplugs so you don't have to listen to you.
It's one of those things
communicate.
where my
I'm like reading the comments, sorry.
I stayed at the Lizzie Borden house and I did not feel anything the entire time. When we went to sleep that night, it literally felt like something was standing because we stayed in the master bedroom, the parents'
Okay.
bedroom. And sorry, delivery coming through. But I really didn't have a lot of experiences, and it just felt. Hi, River.
Hello.
But it really felt like just something, just standing there staring at us. And it was just kind of like, it was that uneasy feeling, but not like to the point where couldn't do anything.
I feel like they do that a lot when you're sleeping. They'll come in and they'll be, because they feel more comfortable with it. You know, they're like, oh, they're sleeping. We can go in there and see what they're doing or to take a look at them. That happened to us at a castle last year when we were in Ireland last year with the nurse.
Oh, yeah. Last.
I woke up and there was a nurse standing at the end of the bed, like an old-timey looking like nurse. And I think they just hang out when you're sleeping because they're like, oh, this person's not going to notice me or get really scared by me. I can go and look at what's going on, you know?
I was just in the hospital 2 months ago, and trust me, every time a nurse came into my room, I knew they were there.
Yeah, you know, it's like you can.
They were normally sticking me for blood.
They don't leave you alone in the hospital.
No. Well, they're making sure you're okay, I think.
How many parent accounts have you been to since as a team?
With Junior.
With
Kid?
Kid?
I'm assuming he's talking about. I'm guessing Tom's talking about Kid. I think only one of the Paracons we've been to hasn't had Kid.
Kid's
been with us for a while.
I want to say Kid's been like our most like active, other than Elliot and myself. Like Joe's usually pretty busy, but I think Kid's been to pretty much all of them except I think one.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a busy kid. Yeah. Kid likes to tag along. He's a good helper. He kind of helps like with Elliot. You know, Elliot's always constantly.
He's good at helping carry stuff.
Yeah.
Things together.
I'm more the social butterfly. So like while Kid and Elliot, like if people are already coming up, like I think it was at Spirits in the Spring even. We were setting up stuff and people were already coming to the table.
We just take her and push her at. If people start to talk to me, I just push her at them, and then I'm like, go talk to Nat. She loves to talk. So
let me finish setting up.
Oh,
you Tom. Go talk to people. I'm gonna do what I need to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. We, our team's pretty chill. It's nice. We
kind of like we're pretty balanced.
We just kind of do our thing. We're a little spacey sometimes.
No, not you.
Like 1 minute I'm over here, and the next minute I'm over here.
Yeah, if you see
this is what I'm talking about, Squirrel.
Yeah, if you see us at conventions, I'm probably looking for where she went off to.
Yeah.
You'll hear me say, "Where's my wife?" many times.
Where's my wife?
Where's my wife? Oh my goodness.
Just wander.
Oh yeah, no. If it wasn't for Elliot, I would be lost a long time ago. I wouldn't be in this podcast
looking
right
for
now.
your car.
I'd be on who knows road.
Down the street. Probably in Vegas by now or something. Like
she would be probably at like Juliet prison that they don't live that far from.
No, yeah. I mean, it's a bit of a walk, but I think I could walk to Juliet prison from here. It's I like to get my exercise in. So
it's not far.
No, it's not too far.
No.
2 miles, something like that.
I know because when I went to Juliet, I messaged you guys up, but you guys were in Chicago or something that weekend.
Yeah, I think,
I feel like we are.
I think my family was out that weekend or something, and I was like, no, not this weekend.
I know.
We're very rarely actually at home.
Yeah, weekends are usually the hardest. Like, we're actually more free during, like, the weekdays. Like, hello. Like, right. Wait, is it? No, it's not a weekday. It's Sunday. But like,
Sunday.
But normally, like, we have to do podcasts. No. Podcast Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. It's hard to get us on a podcast on a Friday night. Like, Friday and Saturdays. Oof. Oh, cool. Waverly. We were there in April. Cool place. Was it April?
Cool place.
Yeah. Yeah, it was the first time we went.
Very cool place. Very cool place.
That's where I had my first psychic attack, so.
Spooky. Yeah, it was it's just one of those buildings that, like, you just feel good. For me, I felt good in there.
I felt pretty relaxed.
I think it's because of just like the history and like the architecture. For me, it's just like whoa.
Waverly, for me, when I pulled up to it, Like I had that feeling of like people standing there just staring out at me.
Yeah. I'd same. You know, it is kind of like breathtaking, sort of a sense. You know, like kind of when you see a mountain. Like I feel like that's like the same feeling you get when you see Waverly. Yeah, you're like, whoa.
But us as investigators, though, anytime we pull up to a location, we're like, oh.
I get that feeling when I roll up to Broadhead. I'm like, yes, another night.
Yeah, I want to say I'd feel kind of like that at most like paranormal places. Like I think any paranormal place, I'm just like, especially like the ones that you haven't done before.
Yeah,
it's just kind of like ooh,
it's exciting.
Yeah, new world. You know, when you started your music at investigations, has it increased some sort? You know, since we've been playing music. Investigating, so we kind of been doing this more so like
since
Joe.
We've been doing live music.
Yeah, so the live music kind of has. So what I'm planning on doing is a really good doc, like at this rate, only probably once a year, just because Elliot's in school. I got to finish up my school, but like once we graduate, both of us, we're planning on investing a little bit more, you know, with cameras, with all that, you know, all the stuff that comes with all that. But this was just like our first one, but I'm also doing YouTube videos too. So our YouTube videos are
busy.
Oh yeah. And it's hard because like I kind of do things a little bit more old school, where like good old digital recorder, you know, versus like a lot of times people like use these apps, which like I have nothing against, but like it is a little easier when you have a device that's already like recording versus like you have to sit down for hours listening to recording. You know, like I usually have to check, I think it's 6 cameras, 4 digital recorders. I have to clip everything so it goes in smoothly.
Yeah.
It's a lot, you know. So in this doc that, you know, Sounds of Spirits, this is like way different from what I'm used to. You know, I'm used to doing just like
it's a like feature documentary.
It literally is like, you know, I do fancy audio. Larry, God bless that man. Larry from Expedition Entity. He did all my cinematography, and he was amazing. And anything that I never got like to go to film school, but I've always wanted to go to film school, and Larry does this as like a profession. So like I'm just like, hey man, how's this look? How's the color grading? Is it good? And he's like, a little bit more contrast. You know, he's been kind of helping me with all that. So it's been nice. You know, it's kind of like I'm getting a little film course through my buddy Larry. So I definitely am planning on having him like anytime like I do a Sounds of Spirits, I really want him to be like part of the group. You know, he's always going to be Expedition Entity and Larry and, you know, what he does. But like, I definitely want to bring him every time like we do any of this. So, but ACG, on the other hand, like me and Joe, like, let's see, Joe just brought his guitar to Edinburgh. And how do people pronounce it? Edinburgh or Edinburgh? I've heard 2 different ways.
Edinburgh.
I think it's Edinburgh, but like the fancy way is to say, I don't know. But anyway, just in case. Joe brought his guitar again, and it's kind of cool because it's just like, oh, this is like, you know, the second time that I'm doing this. And then we linked that with that, and then I actually just went to Madison and brought my synthesizer. And since Madison Seminary,
that was crazy,
is like the history.
Madison's great.
Oh yeah.
Madison is amazing. Actually, I was actually just talking to Jenny about this the other day. That I'm actually from Northeast Ohio.
Oh, cool.
Originally, and the previous owners of Madison Seminary, I got in good with them. And that was actually the training ground for my paranormal team that I had in Ohio.
That's cool. That's really cool.
And it produced some really good results.
That's cool.
Yeah,
Madison's cool.
I feel like I have such a connection with Madison because you know, we were having some trouble like before I started ACG. Like we were with another team, and the leader, I was not. She just did things that
you didn't see eye to eye.
Yeah,
eye to eye.
It was a little disrespectful. Let's just put it that way.
Now, what does ACG stand for?
Always chasing ghosts.
Okay. All right.
Always chasing ghosts.
Nice.
Oh, is it like a secret handshake that goes to it or something? Like,
Manifesting the spirits. But
yeah,
like
hands and all.
Madison has like that deep history with like women, and the first time we were there,
Yeah.
I was actually thinking about leaving the community, but we went there. We were like welcomed. The spirits were very active. We were just there during the day, and I caught like some really cool EVPs. So we actually got to go back. What was it? 2 weeks ago? A week ago? How long ago?
I was gonna say like a week ago. It wasn't that long ago.
It was.
It all blends together.
I don't know. We've been 2 weeks ago.
But I got to really connect with like the spirits there, especially the women, you know, and the way that they were like mistreated. When I was playing the synthesizer, I actually got a little emotional, and like I just started like, you know, playing hard, and then I had to stop, and I was like, sorry girls, like, and I'm so used to calling like everybody guys, and I was just like, guys, I'm like, no, I'm so sorry. I'm like, that's the way we speak our lingo these days. I'm like, you guys are girls, you're girls. And I had to like really like explain that, because I was feeling so bad that I kept saying, hey guys, and I was like, oh no, girls. But yeah, so it was emotional though, because like, yeah, there she is.
Yep.
Beautiful building.
That's a great place.
While I was there though, we did have one of the musical like REM pods. Actually, it's a little plastic pepper that I
was
made.
gonna say, where's your pepper tonight?
Where is the pepper?
In the car.
I think it's packed. Like, I think it's still packed.
We've been investigating so much that I just leave everything in the car right now.
But it was cool because while I was playing the synthesizer, it was like as if it was trying to play the same notes. So I'd go like do 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 do, you know, and then it sounded like it would go like do do do, you know, and then maybe not get that last note or the last.
It was
like,
doing
two
that
notes.
when we were trying to set it up too.
Yeah,
synth.
yeah.
Like, it was mimicking the synth before we even I was just hitting it to play it and it like test it, and it was going off with the pepper. It
was kind of cool though, because like I would play it and then stop playing and then kind of wait for them to play, and then they would start playing, and I was like, oh, this is so cool. It was like just a whole different experience than what, you know, I've normally experienced. So yeah, we're definitely sticking with the music thing.
We do play like music though. Like at Indiana State, we used to play.
Oh, they love Madonna.
Yeah, they like Madonna.
They love Madonna.
Nice.
But the live music seems to add a different element to it.
Well, I believe too, like, you know, that was something that we like touched on with Sounds of Spirits, is like, I asked Joe, like, when you play, and I mean, I mentioned it too when I played the synthesizer, I feel like I asked him, do you put part of your soul into your music, your lyrics, your song? And he's like, oh yeah, definitely. So I think it's like, you're literally, when you play an instrument, you're literally like generating like part of your energy out into, like, you know, in ways that you normally can't. Even singing, you know, like I like to sing and hum, and at Madison I was just like, sorry girls, like it's been a while since I sang.
You're like,
well, see, Madison is one of those places where even when I was investigating, I actually played like the World War II big band music.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
It got the reactions, and it especially up in the attic.
Oh yeah, that's where I was with the synthesizer. That's where I usually
the quote unquote ballroom. So
yeah,
I mean, yeah. So we had some great reactions there, and I told Jenny to go there when she was stuck in Ohio, and she messaged me shortly after that and was just like, you weren't wrong. Like you definitely weren't wrong. That place is absolutely amazing, and like
that place was crazy, because I remember like going through it. I'm like, yeah, I can see why Russ loves this place. And then you went live from there, and I'm like, ask if they remember me, and your pepper.
Oh yeah, the REM pod. It went like doo doo doo. And then I was like, make sure this is a spirit. Can we do twice? And then I think it went like doo doo, and I was like, yay!
All right, so I actually just got personally messaged a question. So Sean Michael Sullivan wants to know why you guys blocked him.
Oh God.
Shawn Michael Sullivan.
He's a Massachusetts boy.
I don't really remember
I
which
have
one
no
that
idea.
is.
I-
I block a lot of people. Usually, if someone's harassing us or someone like posting something racist or super offensive. So pick your choice. Like,
Yeah, either you did something rude or offensive.
rude or offensive. Which one was it?
I know I've known Sean for about 7 years now, and he's one of those ones that speaks his mind, but he messaged me and asked me to ask you guys why. So he wanted to. So I'm just relaying a message.
I
Don't
would
shoot the
have
messenger.
to see a picture
Yeah, I
or
don't know.
something. But yeah, it was probably rude or offensive. Sorry, dude, but yeah, I don't tolerate people who are rude. I just don't. Like, I'm from the South Side of Chicago, man. Like we don't tolerate that.
All right, so Jenny, let's jump into our questions here. We got 2 guests tonight
I know.
instead of 1.
It's
This
a
is gonna
fun
be
two for
great.
one.
We're kind of connected at the hip, so a lot of the
Really,
questions
they
are
are.
probably going to be the same answer.
No, I need completely independent answers from the both of you.
Oh God.
We can do this.
All right. So,
Tom, why? Oh, God, why?
I was like, Les has something up his sleeve. I don't know what, but
5 locations in
Oh,
the world,
Oh, man.
no expenses considered, that you can go investigate. Where would you go?
That
Okay.
goes first.
I'm like, you want to know? Okay, so I would pick.
That already looked like she was chomping at the bit. Like,
Yeah,
I
I
know.
was gonna say that.
I know.
Like there's a few. Okay, there's like certain ones that aren't like specific. They're just like I would take any of them. So one would be my number one would be an old Japanese samurai temple, like anything that's like just old and
That's new.
ancient. And I would go in with like barely any equipment, just to spiritual type
Just
thing.
be there, yeah.
2 would be a big museum. So like either the Field Museum or like New York Historic Smithsonian would be really cool.
Oh, that would be cool.
Yeah, just a
Yeah.
big museum.
Smithsonian's definitely one.
Heck yeah. 3, the Egyptian temples. I think that would be so cool to go to, just to like see like what the heck is there? Because who knows? Who
I was
knows?
gonna say you could go with Mike Rensack.
Mike Ricksecker? We
Yeah.
were actually talking to
We're
him
talking to
about
Rick
maybe
Secker
going.
about going,
I mean, like
possibly.
right now,
Not right now.
right now it's not in the budget, but like probably in maybe a year or 2, like heck yeah,
I know,
he would be the one that I would want to go
Yeah,
with.
he's got like good tour guides and everything too. He's got good people set up.
What number am I? 4?
3?
when you go, I go. Okay?
Well, you
I'm
got
gonna go
3.
to-
You got 3 now. You need number 4.
4, I would like to do Dracula's Castle. That was
Ooh.
yeah, and then 5. Okay, 5. I don't know. I kind of would like to do and this is like really just not even like a building. I would like to do the beach of Normandy.
That would be
Oh.
that would
My
That would be a
my great uncle actually fought on the beach of Normandy, and he told me
Storming
some
the beaches. Okay.
stuff. Yeah. So
All
I would
right.
just I don't know. I think that would be another kind of like where I wouldn't really go with much equipment. I would just kind of
See,
spiritual.
that's not so much the paranormal side of it. That's more of a
history,
family tie. It is historical, and it's the family tie of like my blood stepped here. Like,
Yeah. And saw some stuff that, he dealt with some bad PTSD. And I got to see all of his before he passed. I got to see all his medals. He even had like a picture of him and his rank. It was really freaking cool.
Oh wow.
At the time, like, I think I was like 14, so like, I still didn't like really wrap my head around everything that he was telling me, but I got really into like World War I, World War II, like kind of around middle school. So anything to do with like the world wars, I think it's really, really fascinating.
Okay,
Sorry,
so
reading comments again.
Chernobyl, the
Mhm.
Aztec pyramids, Tower of London, space station, and what was my fifth one? Probably somewhere very, I guess space station is as isolated as it can get.
Yeah, I
That
was
would,
gonna say.
because it would be interesting to be able to just test like if they can follow us and stuff, you know. And then
I was going to ask
probably
space station why.
somewhere like Machu Picchu would be cool.
Ooh,
But space
Okay.
station would be cool to do because then you could see if you have anything following you. And
Yes.
I feel like it would be a very controlled, like as controlled as possible, you know?
yeah, I was gonna
Yeah.
say.
Now, but here's the thing.
yes.
Here's the thing, though. Are you hearing the things in your head, or are you actually getting them on audio devices or response to electronic devices? Because
Oh,
you're
I
isolated.
mainly do spirit boxes. That's like my main thing is spirit boxes. I don't really have any abilities other than grumpy like maintenance guys. That's the only ones I get. I get
It's the
janitors
grumpy guys.
and angry guys.
Well,
the only
spirit
one, like-
boxes are not going to get any R or FM AM scanning.
Yes, it's like the
They don't need
ultimate,
to.
ultimate Faraday cage up
I've
there.
I've had spirit boxes do things in places where there's no signal. It works if the ghosts want it to work.
Yes,
Oh,
it
So like,
does.
yeah. So I think you could do stuff in the space station.
Oh, I think so.
Or
One-
like even
one-
come in
one-
contact with something that's not.
Yeah,
yours.
or do like the original spirit boxes and communicate with aliens.
yeah,
So
something.
One of my off puts that everybody always kind of like, I want to go investigate Auschwitz.
You know what? I was actually
That'd be
going
interesting.
to
That
say
would be
that,
very
and then I was like, that probably wouldn't sit well with some people. But like, honestly,
Yeah.
like,
I don't think I don't
Not
know
even for the paranormal
ghosts
aspect of it,
stay
just the
there.
historical.
I would go there for
Yeah.
historical, but I don't know if I would do it for paranormal. I don't know if the ghosts that would stay there you would want to talk to.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. Like,
If they can choose where they go.
I think
Yes.
I think it would be like one of those things, yeah, like something like that. What else could any of them like really say that, like, you know, we know, you know, like we know like how horrible that
I
was.
wouldn't want to bother them.
Like, I would like to know names. You
Yeah,
know,
that
like
would be
I would like to
interesting.
know names. I would kind of like to know more. So, and that's kind of like how we investigate is like we don't really focus on the death aspect. We kind of focus more so on like who they were.
I go and
You know, like, what
chat
would-
with them
One of our favorite questions is, "What's your favorite food?" You know, like
because
we
they
like
do
to
like
know,
food. They like food a lot.
like something more personal. Like, you know, did you like to draw? Like, I don't know, something about them. But yeah, I think that one would be very, very sad.
Lucids.
Now
you
here's
said-
another
the
one
second-
that's never really been brought up was Pompeii.
That would be cool.
I
too.
was thinking Nagasaki, but I don't think it would be easy to investigate because
No, I
of-
don't think that would be.
No.
It'd be
There's
interesting,
I feel
but-
like there's a lot of places that I would like to, but it's like they're very sad. You know, like the
Yeah.
suicide
Yeah.
forest in Japan.
Yeah.
Like, you know, and it's just like I feel like me personally, I connect with people.
I mean, I said
like-
I said
like-
Tower of London, so
yeah. Like
and Chernobyl.
I get like
But-
I get that like very much like with Madison even when we were first up there I had to remove myself because I was getting too like I want to kick your butt whoever hurt these spirits, you know, like, and I had to remove myself because I was just like I don't like bullies. Like bullies are
And
kind
you-
of like my
And you know what, Nat? I actually got that way myself too. There were a couple times when I was investigating there, I actually had to remove myself from the building because I'm like, this you can't do this.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
started getting
Yeah.
agitated and frustrated. And some of my team members look at me and were like, all right, you need to step out and take a minute. Like,
Yeah, very much. Because, like, that's how Joe and Elliot were like to me, too. They're like, yeah. And I even told them, I'm like, if I get like that during my solo, like, I will step out. You know, you kind of need to know yourself a little bit and when things are going a little too much. But when I was up in when I was doing my solo with the synth, I literally felt like I was just hanging out with a friend. When it got to that, like, it got kind of where, like, it was like, hey, buddy, what's up? You know, like, and we were just
a lot
having
of times
fun.
I feel like that with like solos. I feel like I'm just chilling with someone. Very rarely are they really freaky for me. Like Indiana State solo is freaky, but like it depends on the location. But a lot of times I feel like I'm just sitting and having a conversation with someone. Even at Indiana State, for like when we did the documentary, I still feel like I was just sitting there and talking to a guy with the flux. There was a guy talking to me through the flux, which was really cool.
Oh wow.
I was just
talking. You're sitting there having a conversation with you know, like your best buddy and the ex-convict. So I mean, you know, why not?
Yeah.
Definitely. So
I see lucids.
Let's talk about the lucids, because you guys kind of came up with it and ran with it, and now everyone's kind of using it. Tell everyone about what the lucids are and your technique with them.
So,
you want me to explain what they are?
Okay, you explain. I'll
explain the technical side and then explain the experimental side.
Yeah.
Lucids are vocal frequency amplification headphones. They are designed for job safety, but they don't work very well for that. So that's why they're discontinued. But they work fantastic for hearing spirits' voices because they amplify the frequencies that we've noticed that spirits tend to talk on. And
all right, so now
man of many words.
Short to the point. So Elliot actually got a pair of lucids, and one day I put them on, and I started walking around the house, and I was just like, "Yo, I couldn't hear Elliot like talking, but I could hear like whispering it very clearly." And then I was just like, I'm like, try talking again. And if you get a pair, you'll like hear people very muffled. Actually, I have to take the headphone off to hear people. But the whispering...
Or when people are further away talking normally, you can hear them.
So like literally like down the hall. And I'm like, yo, I'm going to try this with my spirit box. So what I did was I actually left my spirit box in the bedroom. And now we have ghosts in our house. And I came into the living room and, you know, I was just like letting the spirit box roll. And I noticed I could actually hear those voices that were underneath that you know, the little like, like that you can't really make out very clear. And I could hear full conversations. Sometimes I will even listen to our, you know, EVPs. Like what it pretty much does is it hears disembodied voices. You can listen to EVPs on a different frequency. You can listen to the spirit box on a different frequency. I believe the lucids hear at 20 decibels, which I have a theory that is about where disembodied voices would be. So normally what we do is like we'll either do a solo, wear these, and walk out like the whole building. And I mean, you can hear footsteps down the hallway. You can hear like people talking that aren't there. And then we also do what I like to do is a SP7 with an amp and a noise gate. And I usually don't use like reverb, but usually cut the noise gate just enough to kind of give it just that little bit of like a white noise layer. But you'll start hearing, like we did this at Prospect Place, and we put the spirit box in the bedroom. Elliot and I left the spirit box, and I also believe that this kind of gives the spirits a little bit of personal space, you know, like so you're not like all up in there like, hey man, how's it going?
So they feel more comfortable.
So we left the box in the room, and then we went down the hallway about 30-40 feet, and we were asking questions from the hallway. And we actually heard, it sounds like when you have these on and you have the spirit box rolling, you will hear, especially if you step away, you'll hear the spirit box as if it's like a person. And we heard a woman say, "He's sick. I'm taking care of him." And the little boy comes to her and goes, "I'm sick." And then it was trippy, and that was the first time we did it, and then we started doing it pretty much everywhere we went. And you got to be patient with it. You know, sometimes you'll hear things like just like a straight up nope or yep, and like, but it sounds like as if Elliot's saying yes, you know, straight up just yes, versus a spirit box voice that you're kind of like, I think it said yes. You'll be able to hear it like very clear what the spirit box is saying.
Oh yeah.
So that's
I tried it at Broadhead with you.
Oh yeah, you did. Yeah.
Up on the third floor after being called out from on the spirit boxes nonstop.
Now, going back to Prospect Place, you brought it up with the, you know, what you experienced there. When I was doing the recreation of the hanging in the barn, so you can't gain access to the second floor of the barn because it's decrepit stairs. You can't get up. They really, like, unless it's been probably 12, 13 years since I've been there. So unless they've done improvements to it, which I'm probably sure they probably haven't.
I don't think they let you on the second floor last time we were there, just
We
for
were
safety
there,
reasons.
yeah.
I think she said because
It's
you
been
can
a
fall.
while.
It's a barn.
I think it's been almost 2
Barns
years.
are just dangerous.
So
Yeah.
we had a rope that we tied around a rock and tossed up to the second floor. Now I'm standing there completely with a bag over my head. I can't see anything. Nothing. It's completely dark.
Oh wow.
And all of a sudden, like my team members, there was like 6 of us in the barn, and they're all asking questions and everything like that. And everybody at one point just stopped. And I'm like, I can't, what's going on? Communicate with me. What's going on? I guess the rope actually started to pull up.
Oh wow.
Oof.
And they actually caught it on video, and I need to find the video of it, but you can actually see, because there was slack behind my neck, and you actually see it start to like tighten up.
Oh.
That's scary, yo.
And here's the thing, like the minute they all went silent, I was kind of like, all right, get me the hell out of here. Like, cut the rope, just get me the hell out of here. Like,
yeah.
But we went back and listened to the audio recording of it, and you can actually hear in the background slave songs.
That's cool.
You can hear people singing.
Yeah, that's cool. That's kind of like the stuff that I'm trying to like get more so on film. You know, I have a ton of EVPs. I have like laughing is a big one that I capture. Yep. Like we have a very clear laughter that we caught at ISS, Indiana State Sanatorium, and it's like one of the clearest. I caught it on 7 cameras. And yeah, there she is. Oh, I love it. I love Indiana State so much.
I've been there once. I've been there once during the day.
I think
we've been there a lot.
I was gonna say, you guys have been there probably a lot more than me, but
I want to say we've gone there at least 30 times.
Yeah, something like that.
That was like me in Madison when I lived in Ohio. I like that. That was kind of like your home base kind of thing, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, I got my Indiana State shirt on.
We also volunteer to be tour guides there.
All good manner. Shirt on.
No, I'm just representing another paranormal investigator. You got one. Elliot's got that same shirt.
Yeah. He convinced me to get green.
That's funny.
Yeah, well, I am part of Warner Paranormal Preservation Society, so I mean.
Yeah, that's cool. I like the green. It's a little something more than black.
Yeah.
All right, so let's get into this. We got roughly 10 minutes left, so let's get into this.
Oh boy.
Jenny, you know the question I'm going to ask.
Okay, before that, let's talk about Indiana State.
All right, go ahead. I'll give you that.
Give us a brief history if people don't know where Indiana State Sanitarium is and the history.
I got this. Okay.
It's in Nevada.
No, it's not in Nevada.
Indiana State Sanatorium. The property was purchased in 1908 and established. By 1911, they started building the tuberculosis wards.
Stop talking like that. It's weird.
No, it's not possible like that.
No, this is gonna be way too long.
I'm not having no, that's
Pretty
Rockville, Indiana.
Pretty much, it was a tuberculosis hospital. That is the only original structure from the tuberculosis era. And then they built the nursing home, which is a T. Not that one. That's a 5-story. That was a rehab center in the 1950s.
nursing home is in between the two.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where the men's ward for the TB era used to stand. It's a nursing home now. Pretty much what they did was once Lee Allen Bryant, you see the name right there, purchased the property in 1976, they tried to make it into a nursing home. What happened, though, was they had more staff than patients, so they started taking overflow of psychiatric hospitals, and pretty much they were mixing a schizophrenic along with grandma right next door. Yeah, so you had all this kind of going on. This place was not built for an insane asylum.
No.
And then these patients actually
it wasn't
started
staffed for an asylum either.
No, the staff did not know how to deal with mental patients. You know, they were trained for nursing home, and the staff neglected the patients. The patients wound up wandering. A woman got lost in a pond nearby. She drowned. Another guy got up on the water tower. He passed away. People going out in traffic.
For full details on all this and to see the investigation, we have a documentary on Tubi about haunted Indiana State Sanatorium.
We got to interview an old nurse that was
That
there.
was really cool.
That was really cool, and you could tell, like, in her face, like she knew that the place was not a good location.
She confirmed a lot of the things that we've gotten.
Now, question really quick for you guys: Have you guys ever been to Hillview Manor?
Yes, that place was super active for us too. Very spooky.
You need to go back and film a doc there, because that place is that's another place. Because where I lived in Ohio, I was in Youngstown, so I was 45 minutes from Cleveland, 45 minutes from Newcastle, where Hillview was. It was Hillview. Actually, we held our Halloween event for my group there.
Yeah, Hillview.
That's one of the few places I've actually had to yell at a spirit because he was threatening us.
Yeah,
and he was threatening other spirits, which is what I yelled at him about, because I don't like him being mean to other
we caught
spirits.
a very clear. We were in Angelo's hallway, and we caught a very clear. I forget what I was saying, but we got Angelo like very clear on the spirit box.
In the boiler room in the basement, there's actually a video of me actually having, because I was doing a live EVP session, so I had headphones in. And there's actually a video of the one part of the headphone cord being gripped around my neck.
Ugh. No.
Like it like, and I stopped and I immediately was like, oh, okay. Like, I tried every certain way to try to get it to recreate and wouldn't do it. And I went back and looked at the footage and I'm like, okay, that's something.
Yeah.
See that stuff. That's what kind of when you have to. I don't really believe in provoking, but like or like being mean, but like that's kind of when it's like, okay, no, you do not do that. Like, and then you gotta smack them into place, But that was the only location we had to put our foot down, really.
Yeah.
So we talked about ISS. So one of the infamous questions I always ask on this show: if you had to assemble a team of 5 investigators to investigate a location, it can be fact fictional, living or deceased, anybody. Doesn't have to be an investigator at all. It could be anybody. Who would it be? And preface this: a group of people like Ed and Lorraine Warren is considered one choice.
Can I say my team?
I was gonna say our team.
Team. You cannot
Maybe-
say your team, and you cannot say
Maybe
Elliot.
throw Kimmel in there. Kimmel is a very, very skilled investigator, and every time I investigate with him, he always impresses me with how he addresses the spirits. Because
I've yet to meet him.
he's amazing.
He's a cool dude. I'm gonna say Jeff Fent first.
Fent, yeah.
He makes amazing spirit boxes. He's the one that I met at Madison, and
I'm convinced he's like an
he's-
angel or
yeah.
something.
he's a cool dude. I don't know, like I'm trying to think because I don't really.
I feel like paranormal investigating is such a personal thing when you're there with a crew that
Yeah.
you can't just use people from history because you wouldn't know how they would react.
And
on
I'm
a
even
personal
thinking
level.
like, I'm thinking TV shows. Like, I don't know. This one's actually a hard question because like, I'm like thinking,
Finally,
okay,
somebody that stumped.
Nikola Tesla. I think that
Tesla
would be cool. That would be a cool one. I'm trying to think like more so like scientists and like inventors and I don't.
Well, you can't throw Tesla and Edison together because that'd be a throwdown right there.
No,
No,
not
not
Edison.
Edison.
Edison didn't do much.
Oh no, I really
Frank Sumption.
Oh, that would be.
Frank. Yeah, definitely Frank.
That's the first one anyone said him.
Yeah, it is.
He would 100% be on my list.
okay. Now
of
I'm thinking.
historic
Okay,
people.
I got Tesla. I'm gonna say someone that maybe
Well,
Hendrix.
you have Fent and
Hendrix
Tesla.
would be cool.
And okay, Frank, and then throw Hendrix in there for the music aspect. I think
All
that would
right.
be really cool to see.
He's
him
gonna
just
light
like-
the guitar on fire to provide you light.
Yeah. Just really rock a freaking location, blast everything. Let's see. So we got 3. My grandpa.
Yeah, your grandpa would be good.
My grandpa. He was like my best buddy. He's the one he was like the only one in my family
He's
that
super
believed.
knowledgeable on
any
a
ghost
variety
stories.
of things too.
And he talked. He was a lot like
He's
me
good
with
with
the talking.
stories.
I feel like he would just sit and talk with the ghosts.
Just sit down on the front porch in a rocking chair, whittling a
Yeah.
little wood sculpture, just like back in my day.
Yeah, and then the 5th one. I don't know. What's the 5th one? Who was the 5th one? I did the
Dustin. Throw Dustin.
Dustin Perry. I
Dustin
want to
Perry.
say Dustin Perry probably out of all the I love Rick Secker. Yeah, there
Rick
are
Secker.
some people that like really inspire me in the paranormal, but Dustin's like the one that really is always posting positive stuff.
Oh yeah.
Always. Like
Even when he's stuck at airports, constantly.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
stuck at airports and
he's still posting positive things.
I would
You
just
know,
bring him.
See, last week I had somebody say Kevin Hart because they just love to see him run into a wall when he got
Kevin
the
Hart
hook
would be
out of it.
funny.
That would be
That'd be
hilarious. John Belushi. That would
John
John.
Belushi.
Yeah, I can't really think of anybody else. I don't know. I like just investigating with whoever is in my path for the night to investigate with.
Yeah.
You're
So,
a
like-
purist. You're a purist.
Yeah. Like if like Jenny,
kind of let fate do our thing.
I've
for us.
investigated
Yeah.
with Jenny, and that
Yeah.
was like my girl that night.
that
We had
was
Broadhead.
crazy. That was crazy.
Like, and
Yeah, whoever fate takes you to investigate with.
if I'm like, oh, we got a night tonight, all right, this is the one that I'm investigating with tonight. And I
All
kinda
right,
just, like,
Elliot, give
we have
me
fun.
your 5, Elliot.
oh, I got 5. Tesla, something. Why can't I say his name?
wait, can you copy me?
No, you
What?
cannot copy that. 5 new people.
But, oh, what about
All of the Beatles.
wait?
There you go.
No, what was the guy? Richard Crowe.
Oh, I would definitely want to investigate with
Richard
Richard
Crowe.
Crowe.
He was a tour
wonderful.
guide that did like Archer
Um,
Avenue around our
He is responsible
Our
for
house.
all of the
our living.
the lore around Chicagoland. He was one of the collector of most of the lore. I don't know.
We got one down.
What? A 5.
No, we got 2. We got the
R.L.
Beatles
Stein.
and
R.L. Stein. Creepy. Yeah.
Richard Crow.
What's another like?
I can't think.
Jenny, I think this is the first time we've actually stumped people and they actually had to
I
think
think
on
so.
things.
There's just so many. Like,
But the thing is like I don't know. When it comes to paranormal investigating, we're very
You
much
know what?
like.
I'll pick up Rick Secker and Kimmel and Addie.
There we go. Addie, who runs the property for
There we go.
all
Okay.
of those locations.
All right, now we'll shift here a little bit because Elliot, Jenny has a picture up of your boxes you're doing.
Yeah, I build spirit boxes and I let I have the ghosts in our house help me tune them and everything, and they test them and make sure they're all good. And I usually find the spirit boxes. I let them come to me and then I modify them. I prefer spirit boxes with like a sticker on them that say a retirement home and stuff like that, because those have a lot of cool energy. Usually there's someone who talks to them. Each one has their own voice.
Well, I see you pick a lot of them up from antique shops and everything like that. So
Yeah, I kind of let fate bring them to me.
Well, like he had these urns that he
Those
like.
urns were a cool
He
story.
like
So-
didn't you like turn the corner?
So
or something?
I was like 3 towns over from that Salvation Army, and I just kept thinking I gotta go there, and I'm like, I don't want to go there. That's like way too far away. And then I just kept feeling that I should go there, and I ended up just going, and I wandered around the whole place, and I'm like, there's nothing here. And then I turned down one of the rows, and the entire row was full of these urns.
Jesus.
So you see that green one?
I went up to the
He's gonna be
front.
making more.
I went up to the front and I was like, "Can you hold these if I put them in a cart?" And the lady just looked at me. She's like, "No." And I'm like, "What do you mean, no? I obviously want these. I have like all these urns in a cart. No one else is gonna buy these." And she's like, "No." And so I'm like, I pushed the cart into the corner, and I went and got our teammate Joe, and I'm like, "Hey, dude, come help me pick up a bunch of urns." And he's like, "Okay, being your friend is amazing. There's always weird adventures."
Yeah, he sends me a picture. I think I was like at my
You
mom's.
were at your mom's, yeah.
And he's like, look what I found. And there's like freaking 30 urns. I'm like, what the hell?
And I bought all of them. I mean, they're cool. There's
Now-
something that's unique.
Yeah. And you
now,
know,
please
honestly,
tell me they are not used.
Yeah, please.
I mean, some of them were a little bit, but no, they're not used.
overstock. No.
No.
You know, I was like, I don't know.
A funeral home had a
honestly-
clearance sale. We need to, going out of business. Need to get
Go
rid of
sell,
anything.
sell.
Tell them all now.
So all these people, that'd be horrible.
I like the little like bluish
The
one.
Beach Boy one?
That looks like a little Volkswagen, like
Yeah.
the little like the vans.
That
like,
one has a cool
surfs up,
personality.
That
That one's really chill.
one's chill.
Are you
No,
gonna have
no.
more? Are you gonna have them at Broadhead on the 1st?
I don't think so. I will have them at ISS Con though.
I think right now he only has
3 of them.
3, and I think we were gonna put them in Elia's shop.
Yeah.
There's certain people that they're going to like but
Yeah.
we are going to be bringing a pair of Lucids for Broadhead. We have a little package that we had put together, a little fun basket for the fundraiser. So, but he's got to make more. I'm going to be making more for ISS too. So he just taught me how to make them.
I love your jack-o'-lantern one.
I'm only going to be selling jack-lanterns because it goes back to like my Irish heritage, and I'm calling them Nat's Jacks, because the whole stingy Jack story. And yeah, I don't know.
You're
I
gonna
love
have to let me
jack
know when you get more out because I'm not a big fan of equipment because when I go to an investigation, I'm pretty much only bringing an audio recorder and a flashlight. That's pretty much what I take in. But it's always cool to have a new piece of equipment to try out and everything like that.
Oh, definitely.
I'm gonna be releasing our Edinburgh episode probably in August. And it's what?
The ghost that tried to buy my spirit box.
Oh yeah. Someone someone tried to trade a ghost for one of Elliot's spirit boxes.
A ghost tried to trade another ghost. Not
so
some
we
random
were sitting
person.
there like we're like, can we talk to Paul? Where's Paul? Because like we were told there was a spirit Paul there, and this ghost comes through with the spirit box, and he's like, cool artifact. He's like, I'll trade you for Paul. And then we're just,
what is this, like the 1800s where we're just giving people away for like land or something? Like,
I guess so.
well, and then we were asking, like, Elliot's like, I'm not giving you my box, and then like he was like, financial problems, and like, I'm like,
sorry you don't have money because you're a ghost, but I can't give you this.
Well, Edinburgh was a poor farm, and I was like,
Yeah.
Elle, I think he's like trying to like have your box, because like 100 years ago that'd be like, whoa, what is this?
The
like,
box lights up and it changes colors when they talk and stuff like that. So
he'd be the cool kid on the block.
yeah, he'd be like a magician.
Look, guys, now I'm rich.
Yeah, I think the spirits at the manor love when people bring new equipment in. Like,
oh my god!
I know when I was there last August, we bought the lights, the EMF lights.
Oh yeah.
And they love playing with those down in the basement.
What, the tripwire?
Yep.
Oh, so what we did, since they have that guest house in the back, like, well, we took our solos. You know, nobody in the building other than us, and
No, she's talking about Broadhead.
No, I was talking about the manor.
The manor.
Come on, Elliot.
Okay.
Elliot, come on,
get with it.
Yeah.
But so I had the basement to myself, and down there is creepy.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Shit down there.
Yeah, no, it was like
I got being in that basement by myself. No, thank you.
I was down there. I heard a disembodied voice, and it's like, "Come here." Like, it's so scary. I was like, and I'm just like, and I'm like, touch my pepper. Touch my pepper.
Touch the pepper. Touch my pepper.
Touch the
At least you gave consent.
When I was down there in last August, I had the Connect system going, and we caught something crawling on the ceiling. And the EMF tripwire would light up as it's coming. Where the laundry room is. Laundry room. So you can see the hallway, and you can see where the boiler room is, right? We were having shit happen in the boiler room, and then we caught something crawling on the ceiling in the hallway. I'm like, we're like literally stuck here. Like,
yeah, there's
Well, so when we had the spirit box rolling, I was talking about the basement, and then all of a sudden we caught this like really creepy like like coming through the spirit box, and I was just like, I'm like, do I have to go down there? I'm like, why did I choose the basement?
Yeah, really.
Charge of thing.
I love that manor, but that basement is a
basement's freaky.
It is
creepy.
So I will ask. I'll ask one last question for the show for myself.
Basement, nope.
So paranormal TV shows.
Oh boy!
Since you film documentaries and everything, do you think the paranormal TV shows that are out there hurt or help the community?
I love Destination Fear.
Project Fear.
Yeah, Project Fear.
Fear was a TV show.
I do think Project Fear does, or Destination, whatever you want to call them. I do think they do things good. You know, I think they do things like
I can't really comment because I don't watch paranormal stuff.
Honestly,
so, like, I don't know.
I'm really picky with my paranormal shows.
Yeah.
Me too. It's like
what was the one that we liked? Ghost in the Hood? That was
Ghost
funny.
in the Hood.
That was funny. That was a good one.
You can find it on Hulu. You could obviously, like, I think tell that, like, they were, you know, actors, but they were still very kind to the ghosts. You know, they weren't like, I really think it depends on the show. I'm not a fan of provoking, so anything that goes with provoking, downvote.
No being.
I'm not really about everything being a demon.
Mm-hmm.
downvote. Like,
Downvote.
So honestly, our whole thing is trying to
Hold
be
on, I need
friends
to go
with
change into my affliction T-shirt real quick.
Oh, God.
so yeah, I mean, like the way that we do things, it would be kind of like contradicting if I started calling everything a demon, you know, like because I really don't think a lot of things are demons unless like Monroe House is the only place.
It's not. I call
that
it
I've
a
been
not
to.
ghost. It's a not ghost.
It's a not ghost. Do I think it's 100% a demon?
It could be an alien. I don't know what it is.
It's freaky, whatever the hell.
It's a not ghost.
Elemental.
Yet to be there.
I don't like
I don't
dealing
even know if it's an elemental. It's
with not
something.
ghosts.
Like it is something. It's
They take my
it
stuff
knew
apart.
things
They
about
take
us.
things apart. What?
It
took apart one of our
desoldered
cameras.
One of our cameras.
Like the inside of the camera.
Kid put his gloves down, turned around, turned back. His
And me and
gloves
Kid were the
all the way
only
on the
people
other
in the
side of
room.
the table.
We were the only people in the room.
It would, out of all the locations that I've been to, the Monroe House, it's very like
It's very not ghosty. There's
We-
ghosts there.
I don't
but
know
there's
if-
also a not ghost.
I don't know if you guys not to like and subscribe or YouTube. Honestly, like no one really watches our YouTube, but if you guys see our Monroe House,
Hey,
we'll
I watch
put
our
in the
YouTube.
shameless plugs. Don't worry.
if you guys have seen our Monroe House episode, like that, if you're gonna watch any episode, watch that one, or whatever you call it.
Don't watch it
YouTube
late
video.
Don't watch it at 2 a.m. I've made that mistake, and then I was like, "Why did I sleep there?" Freaked me out.
Could be a
Jen.
Jenny.
Jen.
Jenny.
How they spell it is G-Y-N.
Oh,
Jen.
What?
oh,
What Gailey always talked about is the
That
gym.
falls under the not ghost category.
so yeah. I actually that was a theory I had because I put a lot of the evidence that we captured together, and a lot of the stuff so we caught like there was 2 hours we used Katie Stafford's box, an ink box, and now the ink box.
I would like he would be on my team
Oh
too.
yeah, he's cool.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know
Our
everybody
ink
on my
box,
Oh,
like
15 minutes later, we're bringing up new team members.
I got a lot. It's hard. There's a million people that
it
are
kind of
great.
pops up, but our ink box, normally says words.
Yeah.
I think even at Monroe House, it said "work this" while Elliot was trying to do the thing. We had 2 hours of this creepy ass voice that was just like, like,
And it was coming
What
through
the
the
hell?
yeah.
the speaker. The speaker,
We got.
not through the box.
I asked. I was like, "Is there a demon here?" And it goes, "Yeah, where you sleep," and
Oh, Jesus
like
Christ.
stuff like that. And I'm like, it said like, "This is our house," and then I was like, "Why?" It started, I started doing like where I'm pointing to people, like, "Who do you want to talk to?" The box says it's you, like a nice, clear, like ghostly voice that it's supposed to say.
At that point, I'd be like, "Not today, Satan. I'm out."
Yeah.
See you later.
Yeah, no.
I don't know why I stayed there.
Well, and then me and Kid kept hearing something like little, like going back and forth, like very
I had
animalistic,
sleep paralysis, and I've never had that before.
which is a sign of a djinn.
Yeah.
But me and Kid kept hearing like it felt like an animal. That's what it felt like. When you see a wolf in a cage going back and forth, like
Yep.
staring
Yeah,
at you.
The pacing.
The pacing. That's what we heard all night long. Something physically turned our heater. We had a little. It was
I made
middle
sure it
of
was on
January.
when we were going to sleep.
It was middle of January, and it physically turned the knob down to cold. Turned it off.
They wanted you preserved.
Yeah.
Something like that. So yeah, Monroe House, probably the only place that I've been to with a potential demon, and I've been to.
All right, so my buddy Ian from Massachusetts here actually asked a question. If you could change one thing about the parrot community, what would it be, and what are you doing to change
More kindness.
More
what
kindness.
you want to see?
There should be
More kindness. Be nice to the ghost. Goes back to the whole like demon thing. I know that's gets the likes and the views, but honestly, I could care less what gets me likes and views. Like I.
It's becoming clickbait. That's really
Yeah.
what it's
Like
becoming.
you know, and it's like everybody does things differently, and like if you legitimately believe that there is a demon, because I'm not going to go against
Yeah, if
people's
demons are your
religion
thing,
either.
that's your thing.
You know, like if people, like my aunt literally thinks every time I talk to a ghost, it's a demon. You know, that's just her religion, you know. So if that's what you believe in, that's what you believe in. Are you saying it is a demon because of you know, do you really think it's a demon, or are you just saying it's a demon because it gets the hashtags or whatever? So if that's the case, if the people really think it's a demon, then yeah, that's what you think. That's what you think. You know, like I don't even know if we're talking to ghosts. Are we
Could
talking
be
to aliens?
or time rips.
Who am I to say what the heck I'm talking to? You know,
I think some of it's
Half
time
the time I talk to myself. So
Yeah.
I mean,
exactly. So I you know, if that's what you really think is going on, but I still think you should treat whatever you go into with kindness, because even if it's a demon, because a negative with a negative, you are going to start feeling and
Well, you're gonna be
becoming
feeding into.
Yep.
and feeding into that
Yep.
demon and that negativity. So either way, if it's a demon, you give that demon a pat on the back and you say, "Be gone," and
Do
be
you
well,
think?
like whatever.
Like, one thing I've never agreed with in these para shows is the provoking and shit like that. That
No,
just
because if you aren't talking to, like, if it is a child, you're being like, "F you, child," and this kid, you know, who lost their life at a young age or whatever, you know, like, is already lost. Like Elliot and his Ashmore girl ghost, she sounded like a little baby girl, like, you know, looking for her mom, and you're gonna go in there and be like, "F you, kid," like, that doesn't sit right. Like,
Just be nice.
like that's not okay, you know. So like, yeah, if
okay.
just
Tom Bailey, if you're still out there, ask your question. We'll ask them. I have a question for them while you're typing.
Yeah.
What do you think about this whole new craze with haunted objects?
Oh Jesus.
That everything that you buy off
I
of
mean,
eBay is haunted.
I don't know. I got some haunted objects that I don't like putting them on camera, but there are haunted objects. I have a murderer painting that flies off the wall, and we can't have it in our house.
There
So
are,
like there are things that have attachments.
once again, it's like,
But then again, I think everything has a soul, so I
Yes.
guess that doesn't like.
yeah. I mean, okay. So here's the thing, though. I don't. How do I?
Ian, not everybody is going to know Savers. That's a Massachusetts thing.
They have them in
This is good.
Minnesota.
Savers is good.
Savers, yeah.
We have savers.
Okay, so do I think everything has? Well, I don't know a soul, but everything. The way that I see things is like, okay, even like my bookshelf. It's made out of wood. Can it contain energy? Yes. Do I think it's haunted? No. Like, do I think it's gonna like you know, make things fly off the shelf? No. You know, so I do think maybe everything can hold some sort of energy. Is everything that you buy haunted? No. Like, and it's hard because it's the same thing where you have a legit haunted piece or object, you know, that is causing things to fly off the shelf, but then everybody is labeling things haunted. You know, like that one piece is going to get lost with all this other stuff.
And it's not always something that looks creepy. It could just be like a cutting board or something.
Yeah.
It could be something.
But it always
not
has to be
creepy.
the dolls.
We've had pieces of wood that we've had to take out of people's houses that were haunted.
I'm gonna go buy a 1960s doll from Goodwill tomorrow and make a Facebook page and put it in a case and
Oh my God.
pour around and be like, it's haunted.
So here,
Tom, let me answer Tom's question real quick. Tom, all of our content is on Linktree. If you look up ACGP Linktree, it'll come up. Everything that we do, I put on there. So all of our videos are on there.
So, but here's the thing too. Like, I can't also say, unless like I physically take the doll that's on Savers or eBay or whatever and, run tests on it. Like we did with the digital recorder. Did I
you
catch an
gotta do a lot
AVP?
of.
Is the EMF detector going off without my cell phone being near it? Like I would have to like do things to try, like I'm considered like I guess a psychic medium, and I usually can pick up on like that kind of stuff, but I don't base my whole thing around that just because like there's like Waverly. I went to Waverly. So many deaths have happened there. You only know about maybe 5 that are listed in the historic, that they tell you on the tour. Anything could be possible. And that's the same thing with these haunted objects. If somebody lists it, is it haunted? It possibly could. But the fact that you have everybody saying that everything's haunted is what's going to make it, things look bad. So
And the other thing is,
I can't say that it's not haunted.
thank you for putting our link there, Jenny.
Yeah.
But the other thing is people can create tulpas. So even if it wasn't haunted initially, if people will it so, there's a possibility that it could be haunted now by a tulpa.
I think when it comes to the paranormal, everything is kind of not 100%.
No, we don't know what
like
we're doing.
it's
It's all chaos.
because even like I've been told that like even Santa Claus is a tulpa.
Yeah,
like
they've said that there's people that have legitimately
literally
seen Santa.
manifested Santa Claus
In
you
places.
know?
I will say this. I have 2 items in my house that I have received from people that are like, okay, I had this in my house and it started doing weird things. And the minute I removed it, it went back to normal. I don't want this in my house anymore. I'm like, all right, I'll take it. And these objects I received, I actually experienced activity after I received these objects.
Yeah, I don't.
One being a 1900s child's parasol for a funeral.
Yeah. I mean, like, in that too, like if it was in a funeral home,
Well, emotions can attach.
Yeah,
to
the
things.
emotions.
Yeah.
I think anything really in a funeral home like that. I want to say death museums and like oddity type places are usually where I feel like the most like, like what's going on here. So, like antique stores, like there's so much
Or
kind
like
of
Field Museum.
yeah.
Field
So
Museum's crazy.
it is hard to say what is haunted, what's not haunted. Could be the person that's haunted. Like that's always a theory too.
There have been 2 places in my life that I've actually had to leave because of the way I felt. One was an antique shop actually in Salem, Massachusetts. And I walked in there and I was with a group of friends, and I don't know if it was the people in there or the objects, but it felt like I was having a heart attack.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
The other one was one of the battlefields in Gettysburg.
Gettysburg is heavy.
Gettysburg got me.
Yeah,
Where
just
I
heard
walked
sobbing.
onto the battlefield and I was just like, I can't be here. Like,
Yeah,
I have to go.
Gettysburg is super heavy.
I think it was next to the Jenny Wade house. That field, I forget which field that was, but like it's like right across from the orphanage.
Yep.
That one got me. And I actually caught I got a film or picture film of this headless
Picture
figure.
film, what's that? It's not on a card.
Huh?
And you also had the ghost make fun
Oh
of you.
yeah.
Did you trip?
Yeah, so I have like this little southern. It's got like a little southern accent. I'm like, my camera was like facing the ground, and I'm walking up, and I'm like to Elliot, I'm like, yeah, didn't really catch much on the spirit box, and then all of a sudden I trip on myself, and I go whoa, whoa, and then like this little kid, like not even through the spirit box, he just like came, like full on disembodied voice. I didn't hear it at the time, neither did Elliot. But you hear this like little kid, he's like, stupid. Like I'm tripping on myself. And I'm just like, oh damn. And I was about to like delete that video too, because I'm like, oh, this
You got
is
straight called out by a spirit.
Yeah, right. I'm like, damn. So yeah, that all of Gettysburg is just one big ghost.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh,
Yep.
my God.
It's a magnet. It's definitely a magnet. I mean, the history beside itself, like it is honestly just one big, and I believe, excuse me, people can go to locations and drop things off.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So-
And you can pick things up. Like,
Think about the people that are coming to Gettysburg every year,
Oh yeah.
mhm. No, I
staying
totally.
at the hotels, visiting the battlefields, visiting the museums. It just, I honestly think, like, people are like, oh, I don't get, EVPs of an 1800s, soldier.
Mhm.
I get somebody from 1960 saying, oh, yeah, it's cool, man.
Whoa,
No.
Tom.
I think that's the same place.
I think that's the same spot.
Yeah, over by
I
all
saw
the
the
houses.
Union. Yeah, mine was a Union soldier too, but he had no head. It was just like the uniform. It was very weird.
It was very weird.
Like when you zoom in, it just looks like this like body like standing there and has no head. And then the second one, there's actually another figure behind it. And the one with the no head, it looks like they raise their arm and there's like this little light above it, like a gunshot. And then there's a figure behind it that's in the
Foreground.
the ditch or whatever. And that one's wearing, I think it was a Confederate. So it was really weird. I caught 2 apparitions.
All
Yeah.
right, so we're at 10:30. So
Yeah.
let's give you guys a minute to give yourself some shameless plugs here.
Where
Tell
can
everybody
people
where they
see
can find you, what's going on, what's coming out.
Sorry, I'm blanked. What's
Promote
happening?
yourself.
Oh, the one time? The
Promotion.
one time I
one
let you
time?
speak to us? Okay, cool.
Promoting. Okay, so we have Sounds of Spirits is coming out. That will be soon-ish. Still working on a couple things. YouTube videos. I'm definitely working on YouTube videos. Now I'm not dropping stuff like every week. It's gonna be more of like a once a month type thing. But what else?
You'll be at Broadhead on
like
July 1st.
conventions. ISS Con.
We will be at ISS Con
Going to the fundraiser for Broadhead.
fundraiser for Broadhead.
Come on, Nat, get your shit together. Come on.
Yeah, come on.
Okay, September.
Christy.
No, August. That's August. Okay, so we're
August.
doing a domestic violence charity at the Bell August 10th. Then right after is ISS Con August 19th. September, we are doing a charity for suicide prevention called There Is Hope at Wildwood Sanatorium, September 23rd. And then October 7th, we're doing Rock Island YMCA. We will be donating our time during that as well for an investigation. And there's tons of cool people from Illinois area going to be there. So there we go.
And Tuesday, Darkness Radio.
Tuesday, we are going on Darkness Radio.
Fun.
I think that's everything we have lined up for now
That I can remember.
that we can remember.
I'm so, I'm good with
You sure?
promoting other people's stuff. Like, I suck at life.
Are you sure?
I think. Yeah. I'm sure you'll see it on Facebook somewhere at some point.
They'd like to
All
pop
right,
up.
guys. Well, for me, it's been an absolute pleasure to have you on the show.
Absolutely.
I cannot wait to meet you guys. You guys definitely need to come to Gettysburg next year.
That'd be
I
fun.
love Gettysburg.
It's a great time, and the event is just loaded with great people, and it's just an absolute amazing time.
I'll be there next month.
Have
Yeah,
fun.
well,
Yeah.
Jenny will tell you not to come because she's about to experience a whirl of a shit show. So, I mean,
Oh boy, what did I
Oh,
get myself into? What?
Sorry,
They just threw something in the hallway.
Who? What?
the ghost.
Our ghosts do things when we're on podcasts. They just threw something.
What?
It's a ghost trap from Ghostbusters.
Oh my god, are you kidding me? Go get it.
You want us to show them this?
Yes,
That's why we keep our equipment in. Sorry, guys. Okay, real quick. This is what just got thrown in the hallway.
oh Jesus
Oh
Christ!
my god!
Dude, that was good. You probably saw my face and my reaction. Sorry.
Yeah.
I heard a sound. I
Yeah.
thought you had a
Yeah.
dog or something.
I grab Elliot.
We
I'm
don't
like,
have
oh,
any dogs.
Shit. No,
Yeah,
we don't have
It was
any.
like whipped across the room.
That's funny. Thank you, whoever that was. That was probably
They wanted
Henry.
the show off right before the show ended, so.
Dude, that's
Yeah,
cool, Tom.
exactly.
Yeah, you guys caught some paranormal activity. At least my reaction to it.
Yeah, you
Honestly,
kind of just
I
did one of
think
those.
Yeah, no, like
Well, earlier I kept looking over there because I heard him like moving papers and stuff.
so our ghost Henry, he does like that's like
He
his
messes with the
favorite
calendar
spot.
and stuff.
Yeah, we only have 2 snakes, and right now Ellie and I are the only ones in the house. So
And the snakes are in their cages, as
Yeah.
far as I know.
Are you sure? I was gonna say, are you sure?
Better be.
Okay.
Now you're gonna get off here and you're gonna go check.
Yeah. Oh,
And you're not gonna have them in those cages.
whew, okay.
This was a lot of fun.
Yes.
Thank you
now
very much.
Now I'm extra pumped. They must have liked you guys.
No, thank you guys so much for coming on. Jenny, always does an amazing job in booking guests, and I've wanted to talk to you guys for a while. I've been following you both on Facebook for a while,
Oh,
and it's been a pleasure talking to you tonight.
it's
And I
been
will
so
see you
much
guys.
fun.
This
We
was
had an
fun.
excellent time. And I'll see you, Jenny. We're gonna find more ghosties.
Yes, and have our fun, and hopefully not get called out by spirit boxes for me to go to Clinton again.
And if you all too could just pray for me when I see her in 25 days,
Russ,
like
well, pray for me, because Russ has all intentions of getting me drunk and scaring the shit out of me with Pennywise. Pray for me, not for him.
I do cosplay as Pennywise, and I told her I'm going to show up at her
Woo!
door at 2 a.m.
Yeah, he said I'm gonna wake up one time and he's gonna be standing next to my bed as Pennywise. Fuck
Okay,
you,
yeah. Sorry, Russ. I'm gonna be praying for Jenny.
Huh?
I'm like,
Jenny.
if you do that for me, I'm not held responsible for any of my actions.
That's what I would say. You don't disturb me when I
Oh.
sleep. Bad things happen.
Let's just hope he doesn't have the guts to do that, or Russ might not be my co-host.
Now you're like challenging him.
look at him.
He's like, well,
He's
now-
I'm good. I see him.
And my mom's like, I'm getting my own room now.
This is one of those fuck around and find out situations.
So yeah, if you guys can see a video on Facebook at like 2, 3 in the morning of me kicking the crap out of Russ,
clown
he showed up.
murdered by woman in hotel.
Clown versus midget, go!
The tables have turned. Like,
Yeah.
All right, guys, we will let you go. You guys are amazing. So thankful you guys coming on, and thank you for sparing your time tonight. And definitely have to keep following you. And we have your link out there so everybody can keep track of you and what you're doing. I'm actually going to go watch some of those episodes, especially the Moreau house. So
have fun.
I know repressed memories and all that, but I mean,
You know what? The voice
you had
reminds me a
to
lot of if you've seen like Harry Potter and the
Parcel tongue.
tongue.
Oh yeah.
Like it's kind of like that. So have fun.
right up my alley.
Whatever it was very intelligent. Like right away, a kid would ask like how many of us are here. It went 5. Like it was very intelligent.
You'll see. It's scary.
Yeah.
I'm usually not scared, and I don't call ghosts scary. Not ghosts are scary. That's a scary video.
Not ghosts are scary.
Not
Okay.
jokes are
All right.
Not
All right.
good. Well, I'll see you guys in 2 weeks. Russ.
Sounds
We'll
good.
see you in less than a month. God forbid us. But next week we talk all
I'm the
about
one that needs to pray, so calm the hell down there.
I'll be sending just good juju. Just
Yeah.
good.
Let's just hope Russ doesn't do what his plan is and scare the shit out of me at 2 a.m. Because I'm not held responsible for my behavior after I get woken up by Pennywise.
All right, Jenny, who do we have next week?
It is astrology night, so we have a couple people coming on talking about astrology, zodiacs, Mercury retrograde, all that fun stuff. So, and then the following week we are off for 4th of July, and then we have Rich Valdez of Legions of Exorcists on the 9th. So, and then we take a break and go to Gettysburg.
Nat and Eliot,
no.
thank you again so much for coming on. You guys are amazing. I'm glad to get I'm glad to get some FaceTime with you.
Same. Been cool.
I can FaceTime in 2 weeks with them. So
hey, you gonna send me another video?
We'll send you a little video. We'll give
Listen
you
to the video.
hey, where are you? Like,
Where are you? I'm kind of talking him into coming to Broadhead next May or June for Spirits of the Spring. So we'll see if that happens.
Hey, I said I'm cheap and it's only a plane ticket. So
there you go.
Well, I'm gonna give him a tent and he can sleep outside of Broadhead.
Tents are good.
That's
I'll
normally
sleep
we just left in a
inside
tent
Broadhead,
in
I don't care.
Pine Lawn Manor. We just pitched up a tent. Like,
I saw that. I was like, what the?
yeah, we got woken up by someone talking in the hallway. It was a little intense. No one was there.
All right, Jenny, lead us out here.
Okay. Let's pull it up. Let's pull it up.